dress the trash up. You can put a little perfume on it, but guess what? It will always be trash.
Hey, what's up? What's going on, you guys? You have now tuned into my Love and Hip Hop ATL recap. Okay, so a shout out goes to Purple Haze, who said, I think Karlie Redd was being sincere with Rasheeda, putting her pettiness to the side so she could be a good friend. So I see what you're saying, but this, like, it kind of let me feel like I was right, because I feel like she was still being messy. And I'm gonna tell y'all why in a little bit. But shout out to you, Purple Haze, for always coming through with the comments. Alright, so we back at the table. That's where we started off back with Rasheeda and Kirk. And the thing about it was that he finally like confessed, because she laid it all out on the table, like blah blah blah, this is what I was told. Karlie Redd said there was evidence, it was this, she was doing that, you was paying for this and that, and this girl is staying up in this place. So it's like, well, hot diggity dog, you know, what can I say now after she has all the facts? You know what, let me just go ahead and just say yes. So she gets pissed about it. She takes off her ring. She's just like, you know, how could you do me like that? And he's like, he knew at the end of the day that she would get upset. Like, who would not get upset? I bet you the next thing that they're going to say eventually, maybe like a couple episodes, maybe even next season, they're probably going to say that he got some kind of sex addiction or something like that. That's going to be the next thing to try to make us look at him in a different light. But I mean, to be honest, everybody likes, well, not everybody, but most people, especially guys, they love sex. So I feel like that's kind of like a cop-out. You know what I mean? Like, you just don't know how to control yourself. And that's, like, you're a grown-up. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Do y'all feel like sex addiction is a real legitimate type of thing? Like, I just feel like that's the next thing that they're going to say that he has. I mean, if you're, like, going out and you know, doing something crazy, then maybe perhaps you could have a sex addiction. But I just feel like him, he's just doing what he wants to do without thinking about anybody's feelings but himself. And that's just it. And that's what cheaters do. But they try to classify it and just make it seem like it's not as bad as it really is, or it's not really their fault. Anyways, so the squad has met up. It was Scrappy, Jock, and Wacko Flock. Scrappy, he talks about his relationship with Bambi, how he's trying to marry her and everything, but she ain't trying to really trust him. So it's pretty much whatever right now. And Jock, he's getting a little something from Miss Karlie Redd. He's off the grid right now. He said he got him a little tree house or whatever, trying to just be incognito, but she done found him. She wants him to even do some nudes for her Karma Sutra book that she doing and all that. They're like, nah, B, like, you can't even get involved in that. That's next level. Imagine him and his little relaxer naked on some couch or something. Like, ew, I don't want to see it. No. Girl, just leave him out. That is not going to sell. It's not. It's just going to be weird. I almost dropped my MacBook. I would have been mad. Yeah, I would have been mad because the cord was there. So, yeah, I'm just like, no, we don't want to see that. I know I don't. I mean, no. Now, Wacko Flock, he, on the other hand, he's saying that he don't want that life. He wants the structured life. He wants his family back. Now, what he wants is he wants to be able to get it when he wants to, not have to worry about nothing. You know, still be able to have the perks of being a father so nobody else could step in and raise his child. But he also wants to be able to sneak around and not get caught. Like, I feel like if all those things could come together and mash up into one, he would be perfectly fine with that and he would be happy. So I don't really know. Like, I see what Tammy was saying, because someone like that, you don't really know if you can trust them. But he's like, he's on some next level stuff and he wants to get his family back. So that's exactly what he's going to do. Y'all, I'm hot and thirsty. I don't know. They got this heat blasting. It's like 40 degrees outside. So there's no need for heat today. I mean, I can't complain about heat, but I'm complaining about heat. And I'm not usually the one to complain, but I don't know, y'all. I feel hot. I feel hot. So I just want to take off all my clothes, but I'm gonna keep it G-rated, okay? So, Tommie and Tammy, aka T.T, they're hanging out, and it's kind of weird. Tammy, she, you know, she's always had her little anger issue. I mean, not Tammy. Tommie has her little anger issues, but Tammy just seems more, a little bit calmer for the most part, unless she's pushed to that level. So it was a little weird to see them being like hanging out, seeming like besties. But Tammy really wants to get out the house. She does seem like she's gained a little weight since she's been with Wacko Flock. At least in this episode, she seemed like she was starting to get herself back together in a lot of the commentaries that she was doing. But during the show, she did seem like she gained a little bit of weight. But you know, I mean, you home a lot, you eating a lot probably, and whatever. So yeah, she's hanging out with her. They go to a fashion show, and it just so happens to be Jessica Dom's fashion show. Jessica Dom was actually looking real cute. I liked the little outfit she had on. It was a fashion show, and she had her hair looking cute, nails looking cute. I was like, yes, girl, slay. You was showing them your boss chick side. No more dancer chick side. Well, you can't deny that booty, that dancer booty for nothing. But, you know, she's on her making money-ish, which is amazing. You know, definitely work this show. Don't let the show work you, you know? So, who else was there? It was Melissa. Karlie Red, and Mimi. They were all there, just kind of supporting Jessica Dime. And Tammy, when she sat down with Tommie, she was just like, she didn't know that Karlie Red was going to be there, because she knows that they have a little beef or whatever going on. So Tommie, she goes up and she addresses everybody, and she actually apologizes to Mimi, because last time her and Mimi kind of faced each other, she had a fight with, I forgot who that with Scrappy's baby mother at her event. So she apologized for that. She's like, she was going through something. She also apologized to Jessica Dime, and she was like, you know, whatever you said about me, it's fine. It's swept under the rug. I'm like, okay. That's a little odd for an apology, but okay, I'll take it as I can get it. All right, you know. And she also apologizes to Karlie Redd. She's like, you know, it's okay that you try to steal my man or something like that. I'm just like, okay, And then Karlie Redd, she's, you know, going with the vibes that's in the air right now, and she's just like, girl, I tried to reach out to you. Tommie's like, okay, now I was trying to be cordial. I was trying to, like, push past this. But now you taking it to a whole nother level. Like, I'm just trying to not whoop your behind right here, right now. And you're going to be super phony and super fake talking about you trying to reach out to me. Why were you trying to reach out to me? Like, we're not friends. You know what I mean? Like, you tried to steal my man. Why would you even try to reach out to me? That's not something that you do. You did it intentionally. Like, you don't say, oh, I accidentally tried to sleep with your man, but I want to be your friend. I tried to reach out to you. Like, for what? There's no apologies for that. It wasn't a mistake. So I can totally, like, sometimes I'll be like, Tommie's a little crazy. Like, she doing too much. But no, she wasn't doing too much. Like, this is real facts. Like, why would you try to reach out to somebody after you tried to steal their man, and you know that you guys are not friends? So it's no use. It doesn't make any sense to me. So that's what Tommie was saying. She's like, you know what? Oh my Lord. She was like, she doesn't know when to not do it. And she just kind of walked away, let her anger management lessons kind of take over, and just kind of left it alone. But she's like, she is going to get her at the end of the day. Like, it's not squashed. It's not over. She's still going to be Super Queen of Petty. She's going to make sure that Karlie Red gets hers. But she left it alone for that moment, though. So yeah, Karlie Red, she ain't... And this is the reason why I say that. And girl, Purple Haze, girl, I saw what you were saying, but this kind of made me feel like she ain't nothing. All right, because why, as soon as that situation got squashed, she's like, girls, let me tell you, I got something to tell y'all. She's like, let me tell you what happened with Jasmine. So she had all these pictures and videos, and she's telling them everything that Jasmine told her. And I like the fact that Tammy was just like, so why are you telling us this before you go and you tell Rasheeda? She's like, I already told Rasheeda. Yeah, but that doesn't mean that Rasheeda wants everyone to know what's going on. You know, I mean, eventually they're going to hear about it, but that doesn't mean you do it. Like, and that's why what I feel like that's not a true friend. Because if I found out that my friend was over here spreading all my business to everybody without me having a chance to tell them the way I wanted to tell them, or, you know, if I wanted to tell them before it got out to the press, if I was like this high level, why are you going and talking on my behalf and telling everybody all the stuff you learned? Like, that's when it just starts to look messy, and like you're not a true friend. Like, you was just fishing for information so that you can go and spread it all around the town, you know? So that's what I mean. Like, she ain't nothing. She's still the same person, always looking for messiness, always looking for drama, always trying to start something. That's what I feel. So Jasmine, she reveals that we have another scene now. Jasmine reveals that she's in an unconventional relationship. So it's her, this Rod dude, and it's another girl named Kiana. So all three of them is in a relationship. And he says that he hopes that they don't do what they did last time, that when he went away, they kind of like split up and wasn't together anymore. But I'm just like, really, bro? So you trying to say you going back to jail? Is that what you trying to tell us in a way without actually telling us? Because it kind of sounded like that to me. But he was just like, well, they kind of revealed that another crazy thing about them is that this is not the first man that they was kind of sharing, because Jasmine was talking to Kirk or whatever in a relationship with him, and Kiana was also doing him as well. So both of them, they pretty much like the same girl. That's what I'm saying. That's what it seems like to me. The only thing was that Kiana ain't get to get the sperm inside of her. Other than that, I mean, or maybe she was on birth control pills or whatever. But other than that, they was doing the same thing at the same time with the same person. And I'm just like, Rasheeda, you need to go get a test. And not a DNA test. You need to get tests of everything. Because this dude is pretty much doing every stripper out there. I mean, like, strippers out of all people. I mean, like, there's a lot of clean strippers. I'm not going, knock all strippers or nothing like that. But there's also a few of them, quite a few, that will do something strange for a little bit of change. You know what I mean? And I just don't think that's healthy if you're in if you feel or you thought you were in a monogamous relationship with somebody and always having sex with them unprotected all the time. Like, now you have to worry about you could possibly be getting something. So yeah, that's how that's going down with Kirk's situation. Mimi talks to Stevie J, and she goes to his house actually, and they have a little talk about this whole thing that's going down with Kirk and these girls and stuff, and Jasmine and all that. And she tells him that he needs to convince his boy to take a test, since he might be doing the test and all that himself. She also says that, I don't even know what Jasmine said, but Jasmine must have said something crazy about him on social media. And she's like, she doesn't understand how she could say something so horrendous about him and also still be trying to claim him as the father of her child, of her daughter. She was like, that's crazy, and those things can affect Eva in the long run. So she's pissed about that. She's like, she doesn't want her around her child at all. She was like, ever. And he was trying to defend her a little bit, like, yo, she just had a tough life. And she was like, yeah, but regardless, she's grown now. And she has to take accountabilities for the things that she does. I'm like, mean girl, you need to take accountability for the stuff that you do too, because you did quite a few things yourself and you grown too. But yeah, Johnson does kind of take things to the next level, like next level. And it's like, it's not one thing, it's like numerous things. So Melissa and Jocelyn, they go to bring Stevie J's drawers, his underwears, to the DNA collector. But the DNA collector let her know that it might be contaminated because, first of all, number one, it was in a bag, which kind of like, I guess it messes with the sperm or whatever. It kind of kills everything because it's being suffocated in the bags. She's like, but I saw this on TV. They're like, well, TV isn't always the best source. Like, they're going to do what looks good and easy on TV. They're not going to tell you all the extra stuff. And she also tells her that if she's trying to use it for court, then he actually would have to come down there voluntarily, and you can't just do it this way. So it's a possibility she stole his drawers for nothing. Following that, what happened? So then Wacko Flock, he goes to Tammy's house now, and he brings the he straight up brings his bags and stuff to Tammy's house, and she's like, what are you doing here? She's like, you can come in, but you gotta leave those bags. And he's trying to woo her and say how he wants to come back, and she's just like, I don't trust you, and I don't really know where it is that we can go from here without trusting you. And I remember I had a conversation like that with someone who was trying to get me back after like a horrendous relationship. It's been more than one person actually, and I was just like, pretty much the same thing, like, how can you trust somebody after they hurt you so badly? How can you look at them the same way? Like, the relationship is never going to be the same. And she was saying that too, like, I don't want to have to be sleeping and thinking about, like, what is he doing? And that's exactly what she would be doing, because she was sleeping easy. She was thinking like, okay, he has changed, we got married now, and he's gonna do right. But no, he was still caught doing the same thing that he was doing before they got married. So she says she might think about, I feel like she's probably gonna take him back because that's what she's used to and that's what she knows. But I could be wrong too, because she's pretty strong. But then again, you know, when you're trying to get that family situation, sometimes you kind of gotta test them, I guess. And she did say that later on when she was talking to Rasheeda, and you gotta show them what it is or what it feels like to not be without you, so they can know, like, you're not gonna always have it easy. You're not gonna always be able to say, I'm sorry, can you take me back? And it'll be that easy where you just open the doors and let them in. Jessica, Dime, and Tommy, they meet up, and they seem like they at a much better place now. And I'm just like, these two are both some hot-headed women. Let's see how long this would be last. I would be surprised if this lasts for a long time, because I just feel like I feel like Jessica Dime is a little bit of a loose cannon, but I feel like Tommy is more of a loose cannon. Like, she will be quick to say what she feels even faster than Jessica Dime. Like, Jessica Dime might be able to suck up a little something, but I feel like this chick would not be able to at all. So I don't really know like how long that new friendship's gonna last. But Tommy did apologize to her once again, and she was just like, she understands why Jessica Dime was saying the things she said about Jocelyn, but she didn't want to hear it at that time. But she sees now. And she also asked her, Jessica Dime asked her about like Karlie Redd and if they'll all be able to be cordial. She's like, she don't really know about that, because at the end of the day, she knows what she wants to do, and she's going to do what makes her happy, regardless of anything. At the end of their little girl meeting, Jessica, I think it was Jessica Dime, who kind of said, one of them said, we should do a double date. So they agreed, and later on they did meet up. And, alright, I'm going to tell y'all about that in a minute. Let's talk about the next scene that happened first. So Mimi, she goes to Melissa's bar. Melissa shut down the bar, so it could be kind of like an exclusive type of thing. And Rod comes. Rod is dead pretending like he doesn't know why Mimi feels some type of way about him. And it's funny, y'all. Like, it's crazy how people would come years later, months later, whatever, and pretend and want to start off like nothing left on a crazy note. Like, everything was all good. This is another thing. Like, some dudes straight up trying to do that to me. And I told y'all that in a previous story time. Like, dudes straight up trying to be like, oh, what's good? Like, how you doing? What's up? Like, what you mean, what's up? My name's like, you cheated on me with 2 other girls and you want to talk about what's up? Like, we not friends. We not cool. You know, you should be happy I'm even reading this message and responding to you right now. Like, we'll never meet up unless, like, it's something that's life or death type of situation. Other than that, like, nah, boo. We not cool. I didn't forget how you made me feel. And that's one thing people tend to forget. They forget how they made somebody else feel, which somebody else would not forget. You know, does that make sense? Anyways, dude was straight up like, why you acting like that? She's like, you scammed me, you took my money. Like, she said the laundry list of things that he did. So then he's like, you know what, I got something better for you. Because she's like, you know, with this whole thing with Rasheeda and stuff, she's like, she don't really trust it. So he's like, alright. He sent a text message, 2 girls come through, Jasmine and Kiana. So they start telling their side of the story. Melissa she wasn't really feeling it. I guess she's cool with Rasheeda. She's just like, nah. She's like, and don't you know that there are kids involved and this is going to change people's lives forever. And Jasmine's just like, they act like my kid. Obviously, you don't care about your kid. If you put all this out there, you don't care that much. I mean, yes, you want people to have accountability for their actions, but still, like, this is I don't know if this is a good way to go about doing it. And, you know, all these things that you're putting out there is just like a negative look on you, and making people just look at you like you're just nothing but a slutbag whore, you know? So it's like, you talk about the kids, like, you're not doing nothing positive for your kid. I mean, maybe you're going to be getting some good money from this show, but that's about it. So yeah. So they both say how they was both sleeping with him. And Melissa starts getting like a little defensive, and she just ends up telling them to leave. And they have like little catty words back and forth. And Melissa tells her that she has a flat butt, and Jasmine's like, oh, I wouldn't want you would have to hit it from the back because I wouldn't want to look at your face anyway. And you know, it's just a little cattiness. And Rod's just like, this is whack. And they all leave. So from there, Tammy and Rasheeda, they was pretty much the last thing that they showed. And Rasheeda, she just kind of has like a girl moment where she's just kind of like, she doesn't know how he could do this to her. And it's the worst part about it is that there could be a child involved that would be her child's sibling. So that means this woman would pretty much be connected to her forever. And the fact that she could have been around her child is another thing that's bothering her. So it's like more than one thing. And she just feels like he doesn't care about her. He truly disrespected her. And both of them, they really like kind of break down, because Tammy knows exactly how that feels to be cheated on more than one occasion in the public eye. So, and then people will kind of like talk about you and say what they think they know when they have no idea about the real story. So she tells him that you gotta kind of let them know how cold it would be without you, and how it is to fear. You know, because right now they don't have any fear, because they feel like they're gonna have you forever. Like regardless of what they do, you're gonna always take them back, and you kind of gotta show them how it's gonna feel without you. And that was pretty much like what they had showed with them too. And it was really nice, like a sisterhood type of moment. And Tammy was like, if you want to beat the chick up, I'm here for you. If you want to beat up not Wacko Flock, if you want to beat up Kirk, then I'm here for you. You know, whatever you want to do, I'm here for you. And wasn't Wacko Flock looking really nice in the little commentary? I was like, you look so different. Like when he's on the show, he looked good, but he was looking extra good when he was in the commentary. Just saying. Anyways, back to this. Alexis Sky, who is Fetty Wap's, and it's funny because I had heard about her a few months ago when I was going to the meat market. I was listening to the radio, and this Alexis Sky chick, they was talking about her sex tape that she had with Fetty Wap, and she was saying how she was like his real girlfriend, but he cheated on her with Masika and like other girls. She was more like playing her position. She wasn't really trying to be like out there with him or anything like that. So a lot of people didn't know about her. But she's pretty famous on Instagram. She got a lot of followers, probably even more so now. And yeah, she's I guess she's also talking to this chick, to Jessica Dime, from what it looks like. So this was her double date partner. They was making some food. Then in walks Miss Tommie. And of course everybody's ready to sip on this tea and find out who she talking to. Who this girl walks in with? Jock. And I'm like, girl, like that ain't no trophy. I mean, I see what you're doing. I see you trying to be Miss Petty Fetty. But girl, him out of all people, I mean, maybe his game is good. I mean, we don't really know. But I just felt like I'm not attracted to him. So for me, it wasn't like, oh my God, she did it. She's doing it. But I see what she's doing, because she knows that that's somebody that Karlie Redd really wants. But Karlie Redd wants everybody. I just seen homegirl on Instagram, like 2 weeks ago, talking about she with homie from Black Ink. So I don't know. I think that's the new relationship that she got going down. And I'm like, Caesar, bro. Like, you could do so much better. Like, you gonna go from Duchess to baby, to tattoo baby, to this? That ain't no, you going down. Like, you went from good to better to back down. Like, bro, what you doing? Nah. But I don't know. I guess we'll see that show up somewhere, somehow. If it was real, it'll probably end up on the next season or something like that. But guys, let me know what you thought about this episode. Thanks for watching. Be sure to stay fabulous, live free, and soar limitless. I'll see you on the next one.